Gaffer finishes 1-0. The kind of club record equalled 20. Just give us your thoughts on the performance firstly.
First of all, to equal that record, we didn't really speak about it. Nobody spoke about it in a week, but that's some feat for these players, this group of boys. 130 years of Gillingham history, and to go and equal the longest ever unbeaten run. Fair play to the players, fair play to the fans and the staff around me. They've been brilliant. They deserve that record without a shadow of a doubt, and so proud of them today. That was a real team performance. I'm really hoping everyone sees the grit, the running, the tackling, the headers that each other is there for. These players are there for each other. Okay, we played some quality moves and there's some good football out there, but that stuff that you can't buy, is brilliant. You can always play good ability football and good passes and things like that, but some of the absolute, you're not scoring against us today. We are going to chuck our bodies on the line. We are doing everything possible. What a team. Really proud of these today. And everybody, we had some knocks in the week. We lost Armani, we lost Ethan, we lost Nelson, 3 midfielders in a week. Gareth obviously can't play, so we could have easily gone, things are against us. They went the other way, and they went, we'll show the world that we can still do it. And what a great performance. Really proud of these boys, and absolutely buzzing for them, because they're such a good, great bunch of boys. Really good. We've got some problems coming up with team selection, I'm telling you, because they're all playing out their skin. But to keep this run going and to be still collecting points and keeping this train rolling is really good.
One player you did have was Josh Andrews. He seems a completely different animal now. Obviously, I appreciate you've had to look after him and give him his own individual programme, but he just seems a different player. Have you noticed that change in mentality with him?
Yeah, of course. From coming in last season, my only dealings with Josh really were in the treatment room. I'm saying, don't worry, I've been there. You'll get back from this, and we'll get you stronger. But he's bought into us. He's bought into everything we've done. We can only do what we think is right for him, and the intensity of sessions and getting him fit and managing his minutes. And again, the medical team, the sports science team, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then we've got a player there. It's a super header. It's a great move. It's a real good move, because we said in training all week, our fullbacks could be out balls for us. And when Nev's picked it up and coming across the pitch, the patience on the pass to Romeo was brilliant. He knew that the fullbacks were deep, so that's how we wanted to play. But then he also knew that they'd be coming on, put his ball in. What a great cross from Romeo, and he's been practicing those as well. I've told him that his crossing needs to improve, and he's gone, right, I'll do it. And what a cross, what a header. It was a magnificent start to the second half. And but then there's other things on the pitch, the unsungs, the two centre halves, and Clarkey winning headers at the back, in the midfield, just the endeavour and the grit, the tracking of runners, the winning the ball, and then the quality balls forward. I mean, all-round performance from everyone. It was really good, and great to see Johnny Smith out there as well, because he hasn't played much football at all for Wigan this season, so his legs were giving up, and but he had a great sort of introduction to Priestfield, and I think he realises this is a decent place when it's rocking. So thank you, fans. You got us over the line again.
Yeah, what an atmosphere. Yeah. Being close to 7,000, seeing a team they can be proud of at this moment in time, equalling that club record, just that really togetherness in a place which is what you wanted.
Absolutely. It feels reminiscent of things I've done in the past, and this team are together. They're a real good bunch. You have everyone from your youngest player to your 38-year-old winger who's can't be involved at the moment. Everyone's just buying into everything, and absolutely superb. And Brad, Bradley, got to mention Brad. It's first over 90 minutes for quite some time for him as well. So some real good milestones today, and pleased that we've got over the line. They're a decent opponent. They're a very good side. So are we.
Gaffer, thank you. Ben, all yours.
Gareth, when you took over a team that hadn't lost in their last 3 matches, but had obviously struggled in a couple of seasons prior to you taking charge, I bet you probably didn't see yourself 20 games or 17 games down the line being in this position?
You don't look at that, you know, but what I did see was some real good signs behind the scenes at the place. You know, Brad and Shannon, phenomenal owners to have. Joe Comp, who works, and Kelly work really hard on the logistics, and the team in the office, you know, as I say, I try and pop in every day and say hello and try and give them a little bit of my energy, because they're good people and they run this club really well. You know, the hospitality is really good. We put a good show on for the fans, and then I get to the playing squad and think, you know what, these are better than the division is saying. You know, these aren't 20th in League Two by any means, and it was just probably a bit of organisation, a bit of structure, energy, a bit of positivity, and I'll bring that in droves. You know, that's how I played, that's how I wanted to be, and I know on the team when I played what I wanted around me, and I try and give everyone that, and they were great. Honestly, they were superb again today, and they keep surprising me. They keep digging deeper and deeper and putting in these performances, and you got some real warriors in that team, you know, and I'm really proud of every single person.
Like you say, it's that character and mentality of this group that just seem so stubborn to be not letting teams score against you, and quite happy to see things out for another 1-0 win.
Yeah, you know, and you can make a habit. That's a good habit, you know, if teams not scoring against you. I think Glenn's had one save to make today from distance, where the boy ran through about 4 in midfield at the end there, and sort of scuffed his shot. Apart from that, I don't think Glenn's had a save to make. And what a testament that is for the 2 young boys, by the way. I don't know if there's a younger pairing in the league today of Sam Gale and Andy Smith, but you know, with Clarkie and Romeo as well around them. I hate singling out, but wow, they're solid, really solid, you know, and I'm really proud that they've come up with the clean sheets there. And then we did the business at the other end. I think there was a few people not even in their seats when that goal went in, and it was a brilliant header. So if you missed it, have a watch on TV, because he's capable of that, Josh, definitely.
It was a sort of set header that, dare I say, Sam Vokes himself would have been pretty proud of.
I think Sam's even more proud than I am of Josh, because Sam works with him a lot, and you know, Vokesy came on, and Vokesy and Daki, really, they were brilliant at the end. The Notts County chucked a different formation in, and you know, they're coming up with problems on the pitch, solving the problems, and I'm looking at it thinking, you know what, this is great. I'm sort of can relax a little bit. I'm only joking, I never relax, but we then put Marcus on and really matched their boxing midfield and saw the game out, and it was really good to see. So tacticians as well as absolute warriors, and we're in a good place.
And you had, you know, things to deal with in terms of, as you say, those 3 centre midfielders all unavailable, and you're trying to manage, say, Johnny Williams and Bradley Dack's minutes in there, and having to push Robbie McKenzie back into midfield. So, you know, those selection headaches that you had, it was probably made a little bit easier for you, but you know, your team's continuing to overcome little obstacles like this. Yeah,
and you know, this team is capable of beating anyone in this league. But then so is any other team. It's just the consistency now of keeping that performance level high, and we will. You know, that's my job, and I'm sure that, you know, we will be going to Newport next week with confidence, but by any means, I say anyone can beat anyone in this league. Newport could turn us over easily, and I want to make sure that the boys are on their absolute best. You know, they've had the odd day off now and again. We're in for a full week training, getting ready for what I want to be a good performance away from home. Bring something back from Newport, that would be the message.
Newport were, of course, the last team to actually beat this Gillingham team, so it's
thanks for chucking that irony in there, you know. We'll see, it's another thing another jinx I've got to try and get rid of, you know.
Well, of course, yeah. Well done on the Manager of the Month award, and you that curse seemingly not a problem for you.
Well, unless you look at Nelson, Ethan and Armani, you know, and Gareth's decision, so maybe the curse was made up on that, but no, really pleased. Listen, fans today, what an atmosphere. You were absolutely sensational, and when we come to that Rainham end at the end, and both sides as well, I'm not just going to single out Rainham, but that, you know, I said to the boys, take this in. This is special. You don't get that. Not a lot of people get to do what we get to do, and that was special. So thank you, Rainham, and you were awesome today.
And would you like to give us your thoughts on Gareth McCleary's?
The club have released a statement. I think we've said enough on that.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Gareth, that's 4 straight home wins in the league now. That's something
nice. Yeah, really nice to hear, you know, and not many goals conceded. So really, yeah, they're finding their feet at home, which is great, and they should, because I used to come here as a player, and it was a tough place to come, and it became an easy place to come, and now we're making it tough again. it's tough enough to get here, never mind play here. So we're going to add the added bonus of making it hard to play against, as well as your journey across that M25 sometimes, which can be a nightmare. But listen, the boys deserve all the credit. They have been magnificent. They're doing things that the fans haven't seen before, that I haven't seen before. They're digging so deep, you know. They're saying Johnny and Brad and people like that who probably looked at as maybe a little bit of a moving on from clubs. We looked at the midfield today, Robbie McKenzie, Bradley Dack and Johnny Williams. You walk into most League Two teams, and then on the sidelines you've got Ethan Coleman, Nelson Company, Armani Little. You know, it's just phenomenal what we can do here. You know, on midfields, I probably missed a couple out, Ewan, or there's even more to join that group. But no, really, really pleased of how the squad is, and thankful for the backing of the Honours.
You've talked about grit and determination in this squad, and you must take a sense of pride that you brought a bit of that in.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's how I played, and it's hard to be a team that just never gives in on anything. And we don't give in on a tackle or a challenge or a header. Never mind giving in when there's 7 people in the box and they're shelling the ball in there. We're not going to give up on anything, this boys. They won't. You know, they can feel it. They can feel something special. And I keep telling them every time that you can't drop them levels now. You can't, because it's the most enjoyable time of your career when things like this are happening. And they're all well bought in, and I'm hoping that we can continue this run.
I think it's Aaron Rowe's challenge as well. Got a fist pump from yourself as well. You enjoyed that.
Brilliant. You know, those things are as big for me as the goal. Those things are as big for me as a great pass, probably bigger. But once he's doing it, because he sees Bradley Dack doing it, or Johnny Williams doing it, or Sam Vokes doing it, and Gareth McCleary doing it last week, you can't not but follow for these people who've played at the highest level, going, this is what you do, this is, and I think that those boys are buzzing, those experienced boys who've played at a high level, going, we've got this young and middle-aged group coming with us, got a chance, And
in the week spoke about how the quality of Notts County, like Dennis and Jetta and
good players
off the bench, and 87 minutes I think that first shot when it Glenn dealt with it.
And it's super defending, super organisation from the boys. But I say I want this, and I want this organisation. They have to run and dig deep to do that. They have to sprint sometimes 80 yards to be in that formation, and so the boys deserve it all. They really work their socks off. I ask them to. I get a bit of credit for that, but they do it. They work their socks off. They are the ones who deserve all the plaudits, and I'm sure they'll get them because they're a good side.
And equally in the club record, you want to go and beat that.
Yeah, of course. You always want to. That's why records are there to be broken, and it would be nice. It would be. But again, even if we don't, I'll be proud of this group, and I'll need the fans then, and I'll need everyone else to go. You know what? We're there again. We'll go again. It's gonna. Let's keep saying it's gonna happen, but it didn't happen today, and that's great. Cheers.
Hi Gareth, Dominic Akibuya from the Times. Congratulations on the 20 games unbeaten. What would you say has been the key? What would you say have been the key things that have contributed to that run of form?
Yeah, listen, a buy-in and an identity now that we have that wasn't here when I walked in. A buy-in from the boys, and there's various reasons why it's not here, and probably an admittance from the owners, which is very big of them to go, we made a few mistakes, we're not going to do that again, we're okay, this is how we want the club to run, and we want you as manager. And I come in and said, right, to be the manager of this place, I want control of the football side, and put an identity down that we're all proud of, that we all buy into. And then the boys, they just buy into it, and they do the work. They do, my job's easy on a taxi board sometimes, putting that, they run, they work, they challenge, they cut their heads up and get injured in tackles and that for Gillingham, for the shirt, and that's really, really important to say. But yeah, we've got an identity now that I think we didn't have before, and that's the work ethic, the hard to beat, the team ethic is so much importance in winning games. So the runners come from, I think, who we are now, not what we were.
The team have the most clean sheets in the division at the moment. How important has that sort of defensive stability been for you guys this season, and what kind of things have what kind of things did you guys change over the break to kind of show that?
Yeah, so we have certain sessions we put on when we come in to make us solid. They're not always right, you know. We've chipped goals at other teams before, but it's amazing because I was an out-and-out forward and I loved going and attacking, and my strength wasn't defending, but it maybe was a little bit as well because I'd win headers and tackles and things like that. But I've got a midfielder in Richard Dobson who used to play midfield who loves coaching attacking. So I love coaching defending. I love making us solid, and it's strange because I never was that as a player. I was the attacker, but maybe I knew how to get past people. I knew what the weaknesses were, and I've sort of don't let them be apparent in my back four, you know, or my back five. We've changed formation quite a bit. The boys are adaptable, but yeah, we're solid. We're hard to beat, and I love that. But it's not just the defenders. I'll have to say this because the forwards, I don't know if you noticed there, we put a big press on Notts County to not let them get any rhythm. So the work rate they're doing makes the defender's job easier. I'm not saying anyone's job was easier than anyone else today. They all gave everything, but there's certain, it's the whole thing. We scored because of the 11, and we keep a clean sheet because of the 11. It's not just an individual, although the keeper loves taking the credit.
One goal was enough today, but is there a slight concern maybe about the amount of goals the team is scoring this season, particularly from open play?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't scored a great deal from open play, but we could have scored 2 or 3 today from open play, you know. The lack of just trying, you know, we'll get there. And it's the hardest part of the game is scoring goals. So that's why being solid is very important to me. So, but yeah, one did it today, and I think there's some great teams in the past been very 1-0 and won a lot of stuff on that. And you know, so I'm not gonna rip apart 1-0. I'm happy with 1-0.